All right, so are you ready to unlock some serious brain power? Because today we're diving deep into the world of learning and memory.
Always ready for that.
And get this, we're going to be exploring it through some pretty unusual sources: hypnosis, meditation, and even female sexuality.
Whoa, okay, I am intrigued.
Yeah, it's going to be a wild ride, but I think it's going to be super insightful. So let's jump right in.
Let's do it.
Okay, so first up, we've got these fascinating hypnosis recordings that focus on learning and memory, and they have a really unique approach.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Well, one of them compares learning to athletic training.
Interesting.
It even says, imagine yourself as an athlete who is about to go into training. An athlete must learn how to move. He must learn the process of his sport before he can accomplish his feat. Pretty powerful imagery, right?
Yeah, I see what they're doing there. They're trying to shift our mindset about learning. It's not just about passively absorbing information. It's about active engagement, like training for a marathon.
Exactly. And that really resonated with me because athletes, they have coaches, they have training plans, they track their progress. Why not apply that same rigor to learning?
Right. And speaking of training plans, these hypnosis scripts also talk about the importance of making a contract with yourself.
You mean like actually writing down a commitment to study at a
Sure.
specific time?
Precisely. It's about visualizing your study plan in detail, almost like creating a mental roadmap for your brain to follow.
Okay, I can see how that could be helpful,
Yeah.
but how does that actually work?
Well, think about it this way. When you visualize something clearly, you're sending a powerful message to your subconscious mind.
And the subconscious mind is.
It's the part of our mind that operates below the level of conscious awareness, but it's incredibly powerful.
Mm,
It shapes our actions, our behaviors, even our beliefs and values.
wow, okay, so by visualizing a study plan, I'm essentially telling my subconscious, this is important, pay attention.
Exactly. You're setting an intention and giving your brain a clear set of instructions to follow.
Interesting. So it's almost like I'm hacking my own brain.
In a way, yes.
Mm.
And these hypnosis scripts have other fascinating techniques too, like this one where they tell you to picture your mind as a blank page, and the information you need just magically appears when you need it.
Okay, that sounds a bit like magic. How does that actually work?
It's not about literal magic, of course. It's more about training your mind to access information more efficiently.
So like creating a mental filing system.
Exactly. When you visualize that blank page, you're telling your subconscious, this is where I store information. When I need it, I can access it here.
Oh, I see. So it's not about replacing actual studying, but more about optimizing how my brain remembers information.
Right. It's about strengthening those neural pathways.
Mhm.
But the hypnosis scripts also emphasize the importance of using traditional study techniques too,
Yeah.
like self-testing, spaced repetition, and active recall.
So it's a combination of like mental techniques and practical strategies.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
about finding that sweet spot where the mental and the practical meet.
I like that. And these recordings also touch on something that I think a lot of people struggle with: exam anxiety.
Ugh, tell me about it. Those pre-test jitters can be brutal.
Right. So do these hypnosis recordings offer any solutions for dealing with test anxiety?
They do. Actually, one of the techniques they suggest is progressive muscle relaxation.
Progressive muscle relaxation. Isn't that where you tense and release different muscle groups?
Yeah. You start with your face and work your way down. It helps to release physical tension, which can calm your mind.
Okay, so it's like tricking your body into relaxing so your mind can follow suit.
Precisely. And they also emphasize the importance of visualization. Imagine yourself walking into the exam room feeling calm, confident, and prepared.
So it's like a mental dress rehearsal for the exam.
Exactly. By visualizing a positive outcome, you're creating a positive expectation in your mind. And that can help to counteract those negative thoughts and anxieties.
I like that. So it's about replacing that fear of failure with a vision of success.
Right. And speaking of new perspectives, let's shift gears a bit and talk about this recording on female sexuality. Now, I know this might seem totally unrelated to learning.
It does. But I have a feeling you're going to connect the dots for us.
You know me too well.
Uh,
Well, the stories in this recording, they really highlight the idea of letting go of limitations and embracing new experiences, both physically and mentally.
okay, I'm starting to see where you're going with this. It's about being open to new possibilities.
Exactly. And that openness to new experiences is crucial for learning. Because when we're willing to challenge our assumptions and explore new ideas, we create more space for growth and understanding.
And there's this quote from the recording that I think sums it up perfectly: a wisdom that will allow you to let go of the old and open up to the new thoughts, new feelings, new sensations, and new behaviors that are waiting to be learned.
Powerful stuff, right? It suggests that embracing new experiences in any area of life can make us more receptive to learning in general.
Hmm, that's a fascinating thought. So what you're saying is exploring your sexuality could actually make you a better learner.
It's definitely a thought-provoking question, and it challenges us to think about the interconnectedness of different aspects of our lives.
Well, I am definitely intrigued to explore this further. But for now, let's move on to our next source, which is all about meditation and self-programming.
Meditation. Okay, now I'm really curious to see how this ties into learning. I always thought of meditation as more of a relaxation technique.
Me too. But this recording suggests that meditation can be a really powerful tool for shaping our thoughts and beliefs, which can ultimately impact our learning abilities.
Okay, I'm listening. Tell me more. So this recording talks about controlling your thoughts by taking deep breaths and forming an O with your fingers.
Yeah, it's like a physical cue to kind of reset your mind.
Right, and then it gets even more interesting. There's this visualization where you imagine negative emotions leaving your body like thick orange liquid.
It's like a mental detox or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it really speaks to the idea that we can control our thoughts and emotions. And that can have a huge impact on our learning.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I know when I'm feeling stressed or anxious, it's way harder to focus and learn.
And this recording actually offers a technique for dealing with those negative thoughts. It's called cancel cancel.
Cancel, cancel. Okay, I've never heard of that.
It's super simple, but surprisingly effective. Anytime a negative thought pops up, you just say cancel, cancel to yourself.
Oh, interesting. So it's like a mental delete key?
Yeah, exactly. You're basically interrupting that negative thought pattern and choosing to focus on something else.
I like that. And the recording also talks about how our thoughts can actually shape our reality.
Yeah, it's a powerful concept, right? Our thoughts influence our emotions influence our actions, and our actions shape our experiences.
Whoa, so if I want to be a better learner, I need to start by cultivating more positive thoughts and beliefs.
Exactly. It's about feeding your mind with the right kind of input. Like instead of saying, I'm not good at this, try saying, I'm learning and growing every day.
So it's all about changing that self-talk.
Exactly. And speaking of self-improvement, let's move on to this recording about self-esteem and personal magnetism. I know it might sound a little out there.
It does, but I'm curious to see how it connects to learning.
Well, think about it. When you feel confident and project positive energy, doesn't it make you more open to learning and connecting with others?
For sure, when I'm feeling good about myself, I'm more likely to participate in class, ask questions, really engage with the material.
Right. And this recording actually suggests that we can boost our self-esteem through visualization.
Wait, how do you visualize your way to more confidence?
So the recording says to picture yourself in front of a mirror and compare your reflection to someone you really admire, someone who embodies the kind of confidence you want.
Okay, interesting. So like a role model.
Exactly. And you visualize yourself adopting their posture, their confidence, even their energy.
It's almost like I'm borrowing their confidence until I can develop my own.
And there's this amazing quote from the recording that really stuck with me. It says, every atom of every molecule in every cell of your body contains a dynamic, powerful movement of electric and magnetic forces. This potential energy is seldom used to any great advantage in most people.
Wow, that's deep. What does that even mean?
It's like saying we all have this incredible power within us, this untapped potential, but we need to learn how to access it.
And how do we do that?
The recording talks about becoming more aware of our habits and behaviors and identifying things that might be draining our energy.
So it's like energy management for the mind.
That's a great way to put it. And when we learn to manage our energy wisely, we can really unlock our full potential.
Okay, now for something completely different, we also have this meditation recording about youthfulness. And I have to admit, I was a bit confused about how this fits into the whole learning theme.
It might seem like a strange connection at first, but when you think about it, learning is all about staying curious and adaptable and open to new experiences, qualities that are often associated with being young.
So are you saying we need to tap into our inner child to be better learners?
In a way, yes. This recording really emphasizes the importance of cultivating those childlike qualities throughout our lives, like curiosity, imagination, a thirst for knowledge.
I remember when I was a kid, I was so curious about everything. I would ask why about 1,000,000 times a day.
And that's the kind of spirit we want to recapture as learners, that sense of wonder and excitement about the world.
There's a great quote from the recording that really captures this idea. It says, "The childlike nature of the spirit of youthfulness is characterized by the need to love and to be loved, a thirst for knowledge, the qualities of curiosity, inquisitiveness, imagination, creativity, open-mindedness, spontaneity, enthusiasm, sense of humor, playfulness, joy, optimism, honesty, resilience, and flexibility. Wow, that's quite a list.
It is, but it really highlights all those wonderful qualities that make kids such amazing learners.
And the recording also uses this really cool visualization. It talks about soaking in a rejuvenating hot springs bath.
Yeah, it's like washing away all those limiting beliefs and negative thoughts that can hold us back.
And then there's this image of children carrying candles. Each candle represents a different youthful trait.
It's a beautiful metaphor, isn't it? It's like we can choose to rekindle those qualities within ourselves.
I'm especially intrigued by the emphasis on playfulness. I mean, I know play is important for kids, but how does that translate to adult learning?
Playfulness is actually crucial for creativity and problem solving. It allows us to let go of our inhibitions and experiment and make mistakes without fear.
It reminds me of how much I loved learning when I was a kid. It wasn't about grades or tests, it was about having fun and exploring.
Exactly. And that's the kind of energy we want to bring to learning as adults, that sense of joy and discovery.
So we're not saying you have to ditch your textbooks and go play in a sandbox.
But it's about approaching learning with a more playful and curious mindset.
I like that. It's about remembering that learning can be fun.
And that's a really important message, I think. Because when we enjoy the process of learning, we're more likely to stick with it.
Absolutely. So what do you think is the most important takeaway from all these different sources? What's the one thing you hope listeners will walk away with?
I think the key takeaway is that we all have the potential to be incredible learners. It's just a matter of tapping into our inner resources and finding what works best for us.
And maybe rediscovering that childlike sense of wonder and playfulness along the way.
Exactly.
Um,
Because learning should be an adventure, not a chore.
So we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have from hypnosis to meditation to female sexuality.
And it's fascinating how all these different sources point back to the importance of mindset and tapping into our inner potential.
Right. It's like we have all these incredible abilities within us, but we need to learn how to access them.
And these sources offer some really practical techniques for doing just that, like those visualizations we talked about.
Yeah, those visualizations are so powerful because they engage our imagination and create a more vivid learning experience.
It's like the difference between reading a boring textbook and watching an exciting movie.
Exactly. And when we can tap into that childlike sense of curiosity and playfulness, learning becomes so much more enjoyable.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's recap what we've learned today. We started with those hypnosis techniques for improving memory and managing exam anxiety.
Then we explored the surprising connection between female sexuality and openness to new experiences.
And we finished with those fascinating meditation recordings on self-programming and cultivating a youthful mindset.
It's been quite a journey.
It really has. So if you had to pick one key takeaway from all of this, what would it be?
I think the most important message is that we all have the potential to be amazing learners. We just need to believe in ourselves and be willing to explore new approaches.
Well said, and I think that's a perfect note to end on. So there you have it, folks. A deep dive into the world of learning and memory, and hopefully you've picked up some valuable insights and tools along the way.
I hope so too.
So keep exploring, keep learning, and never stop being curious. Until next time, happy learning.